My name is Savannah Collins. I'm 30 years old, and I was standing in my driveway watching my fiancé get handcuffed. This is not how I expected my Tuesday to go. It started at 2:13 p.m. I was at a job site, halfway through a panel installation, sun beating down on the metal roof, sweat sliding down my spine. My phone buzzed in my back pocket. I ignored it at first. We were on schedule, and I hate distractions when I'm working with live wiring. Then it buzzed again. Facebook notification. Marcus tagged you in a post. I wiped my hands on a rag and checked, and my entire body went cold. 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback. $5,000 cash. Must go today. Buyer picking up at 4 p.m. First come, first serve. Photos attached. My car. The car I spent 4 years restoring. The car I poured $22,000 into. The car I rebuilt piece by piece in my garage, every bolt tightened by my own hands. The car Marcus knew was my obsession. My retirement fund on wheels. Listed for $5,000. I called him immediately. He answered singing. Hey babe, did you see? Why is my car on Facebook? I asked, my voice so calm it scared even me. Oh my God, okay, don't freak out, he laughed. So Ethan and I were finalizing the Vegas bachelor trip and we're like $3,200 short for the villa. And then I had this genius idea. We just sell your car. Problem solved. My brain actually stalled. You, what? The guy's coming at 4. He's super excited. Cash buyer. See? Fast sale. You listed my car for $5,000. Well, yeah, it had to move quick. That car is worth $22,000. Okay, but we don't need that much. We just need enough for Vegas. You're always bad at pricing things emotionally. Emotionally. Where's the title? I asked quietly. A pause. Oh, I grabbed it from your office this morning. You went through my filing cabinet. Savannah, we're getting married. What's yours is mine. I told the guy I'd have it signed and ready. This is going to be amazing. The villa has a rooftop pool. I stared at the half-installed panel in front of me. You can't sell my car. It's already sold. He's coming in an hour and 40 minutes. You should head home and hand him the keys. I'm calling the police. Silence. What? Why? Because you're committing theft. Savannah, it's your car. How can I steal from you? It's my car. You don't own it. You took my title without permission. That's theft and fraud. Oh my God, you're being dramatic. It's for our wedding. It's for your bachelor party. Same difference. No, I said evenly. It's not. He went quiet. You're not actually calling the police. I hung up. Dialed 911. 911. What's your emergency? My fiancé listed my car for sale without my permission. He stole the title from my house and is planning to complete the sale in less than 2 hours. I need officers at my address. I pulled into my driveway at 3:20. 2 squad cars were already there. Marcus's SUV sat crooked in the driveway. He was on the front lawn talking to 2 officers. His best friend Ethan stood beside him, furious. Marcus was crying. I parked, walked over. One of the officers, badge red Officer Mendez, looked relieved when he saw me. Miss Collins? That's me. Your fiancé says this is a misunderstanding, that you gave him permission to sell the vehicle. I absolutely did not. I pulled out my phone, showed him the Facebook listing, the text messages, the part where Marcus admitted taking the title. Mendez read silently. His partner leaned over his shoulder. The partner's eyebrows lifted. Sir, Mendez said calmly, did you remove the vehicle title from her office? We live together, Marcus snapped. It's not removing. Is your name on the title? No. On the registration? No, but we're engaged. Engagement does not grant legal ownership of someone else's property. Ethan stepped forward. This is insane. They're getting married in 6 weeks. She's being petty. Sir, step back. The doorbell rang. 3:58 p.m. We all turned. A man in his 50s stood at the door in a Harley jacket, holding a thick envelope, looking at the cop cars. Very confused. I'm here for the Mustang? Officer Mendez walked over. I'm afraid the vehicle is not for sale. The person who listed it does not own it. The man's face darkened. You're kidding me. I drove 2 hours. I took off work. I've got $5,000 cash. I apologize. It was listed without the owner's permission. The buyer looked at Marcus. So you were trying to scam me? Marcus stammered. No, it's complicated. Save it. He demanded to file a report. 10 minutes later, he left muttering about crazy people. Mendez turned back to Marcus. Sir, I'm placing you under arrest for attempted theft and fraud. What? Marcus's voice cracked. Savannah, stop this. You have the right to remain silent. Ethan pulled out his phone to record. Put the phone away or you'll be charged with obstruction. They cuffed Marcus. He looked at me as they led him to the squad car. I was doing this for us. I didn't respond. I watched the car door close, watched the squad car drive away. My Mustang sat safely in the garage, And my fiancé was in the back of a police cruiser. What a day. It's been 48 hours since Marcus was arrested, and somehow I'm the villain. Marcus made bail at 8:07 p.m. that same night. $2,500. I know the exact time because his mother, Carla Rivera, called me at 9:02 p.m. from Marcus's phone. "Savannah," she said, voice tight with fury. "I just paid $2,500 to bail my son out of jail because of you." "Because of Marcus's choices," I replied. "He was trying to do something nice for his wedding. He stole my title and tried to sell my car." "You didn't have to call the police." I leaned back against my kitchen counter, staring at the empty garage where my Mustang sat locked behind a reinforced door. "What should I have done, Carla? Let him commit felony fraud?" "You're being dramatic." "He forged my signature." Silence. Then colder. "Marcus is humiliated. Everyone knows he was arrested. Maybe he shouldn't have posted the evidence on Facebook." She hung up. The next morning, I got a call from Detective Garcia. "Ms. Collins, we need your formal statement." I was at the station by 10. Garcia flipped through printed screenshots of Marcus's Facebook listing, the text messages, timestamps neatly highlighted. "In 12 years," Garcia said, almost amused, "I've never seen someone publicly document their own attempted fraud this clearly. Marcus has never been great with long-term thinking. He's being charged with attempted theft, attempted fraud, and possession of stolen documents." That last one? The title. What's he looking at? First offense? Probation and fines, most likely, but it'll be on his record. Good. I didn't say it out loud, but I thought it. When I pulled into my driveway afterward, Marcus was sitting on my front steps. He looked smaller somehow, hoodie pulled tight, dark circles under his eyes. "We need to talk." "How did you even get here?" "Uber. I stayed by my truck." "You tried to steal my car." "I wasn't stealing it. I was selling it for us." "You forged my signature." "I didn't think it was that serious." There it was again. Not thinking. "Savannah, please. I screwed up. I panicked about the bachelor trip costs. I didn't want to ask you for money." "You didn't want to ask me," I said slowly, "so you decided to take it." His face tightened. "The wedding's in 5 weeks." "There's not going to be a wedding." He blinked. "What?" "I'm calling the venue today. I'm canceling everything." "You can't. We've paid deposits." "I'll eat the costs." "Over a mistake?" "Over you committing multiple crimes." His eyes filled. "Everyone's going to ask why." "Tell them the truth." "I can't. It's humiliating." "You should have thought about that before you tagged me." He stared at me like I'd slapped him. "I love you." "You don't steal from people you love." He left without another word. Canceling the wedding felt surreal. The venue manager's voice softened when I explained. "We've never had a situation quite like this." "Neither have I." By that afternoon, my phone exploded. Bridesmaids, groomsmen, extended family. "How could you do this to Marcus?" "He made a mistake." "You're destroying him." I blocked most of them. But I answered when his father, Daniel Rivera, called. "Savannah," he began carefully, "my son made a mistake, a big one. But are you really going to end 3 years over this?" "He tried to sell my car for a bachelor party." "I know, it was stupid." "He forged my signature." He panicked. "He's 29, Daniel, not 19. A pause. "What if he goes to counseling?" "No." "What if he pays you back for the damage?" "There was no damage, because I stopped him." Silence again. "You're being very harsh." "I'm being safe." He exhaled slowly. "Please reconsider." "I won't." He hung up. That night, an unknown number texted. "You ruined his life." Blocked. Another number. "You're cruel. He was excited about the wedding." Blocked. Another. "You're a control freak who can't handle a strong man making decisions." Blocked. They rotated numbers to get around it. Creative, desperate. The next morning, 2 things happened. First, the venue called. "Ms. Collins, Marcus contacted us saying the wedding is not canceled and that you're lying. What is the situation?" "It's canceled. We are no longer together. Do not accept instructions from him." Understood. Second, my credit card company called. "Ms. Collins, we flagged a suspicious $3,200 charge for a property rental in Las Vegas." I went very still. "I did not authorize that." "It's declined. We're issuing you a new card." Later that day, I confirmed it. Marcus had tried to book the bachelor villa using my saved card information from his phone. When it declined, he called the rental company claiming he was authorized. They didn't believe him. Attempted fraud. Again. That evening, he showed up at my house one more time. This time he didn't knock. He just stood on the sidewalk. "I was embarrassed," he said when I stepped outside. "So you tried to charge my card?" "I was trying to fix it." "By committing another crime?" He looked exhausted. "You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself. You called the police." "Yes. You could have handled it privately. And what would that have taught you?" He didn't answer. His voice softened. "Savannah, I was scared. I felt like I wasn't contributing enough. The wedding, the house, your career. You're always so solid. I wanted to do something big. So you took something big. I wasn't thinking. That's the problem. He stared at me like he finally understood that something permanent had shifted. Are you really done? Yes, he swallowed. You're throwing away everything. No, I said quietly. I'm protecting it. He walked away without looking back. That night, I installed a Ring camera. I don't know why. Call it instinct. Call it experience. Call it the feeling you get when someone shows you they don't respect boundaries. I slept fine, for the first time in days. I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. I should have trusted my instincts. Sunday afternoon, my doorbell rang. I didn't move. The Ring app buzzed on my phone. I opened the live feed. Marcus stood on my porch. Behind him, Carla, Daniel, and Ethan. An intervention squad. Savannah, Carla called out. Open this door right now. I spoke through the camera. There's nothing to talk about. You can't just throw away 3 years, Daniel said. I can when someone commits fraud against me. Marcus stepped forward, eyes red. I panicked, he said. The wedding costs were overwhelming. I made a bad choice. A bad choice is buying the wrong suit, I replied. Theft is a felony. Ethan rolled his eyes dramatically. You're destroying him over a car. It was never about the car. Marcus looked straight into the camera lens. I'll do anything. Counseling, therapy. I'll sign whatever you want. You already signed my name once, I said calmly. Carla gasped like I'd stabbed her. You're cruel. No, I'm done. They stayed 30 minutes. Left only after I said I'd call the police again. Monday morning, the venue emailed. Marcus has contacted us again, insisting the wedding is still scheduled. He's demanding we honor the contract. I replied with written confirmation that it was canceled and that he had no authority to make decisions on my behalf. I CC'd my lawyer, because by then I had one. Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from my credit card company again. Ms. Collins, the individual who attempted the Vegas charge, has contacted the merchant claiming authorization. We've documented the attempted fraud. Thank you, I said evenly. Attempted fraud. Again. I forwarded the information to Detective Garcia. He responded with one sentence. Noted. Wednesday at 1:14 p.m., my landlord called. Savannah, someone vandalized your car. Police are here. I was on the road within seconds. I knew. Before I even turned onto my street. I knew. My Mustang sat in the driveway. Every window shattered. Glass glittered across the pavement like crushed diamonds. All 4 tires slashed. The hood carved deep with 3 words. Should have sold it. My stomach dropped. Officer Rodriguez approached me. Ms. Collins, security cameras? Yes. My hands didn't shake when I opened the Ring app. 6:47 a.m. Marcus. Hood up, crowbar in hand. He smashed each window slowly, deliberately, moved around the car methodically, slashed the tires, took a key from his pocket and carved the hood. Then, he looked directly at the camera. No attempt to hide. No rush. No panic. Just cold anger. That's him, I said quietly. Your ex-fiancé? Yes. Rodriguez exhaled slowly. This is felony criminal mischief and vandalism. He's already pending charges. I want to press charges. It's already being processed. Damage estimate, $8,400. Windows, tires, paint, detailing. Insurance would cover most. But that wasn't the point. He didn't just damage property. He wanted to hurt me. And he chose the thing he knew mattered most. Marcus was arrested that afternoon at his parents' house. He was in pajama pants eating cereal. This time, no bail. The judge cited flight risk and ongoing criminal behavior. Carla called me 6 times Thursday. Different numbers. I answered the 6th. My son is in jail again because of you. Because he destroyed my car. You drove him to it. You humiliated him. You canceled the wedding. So smashing windows is justified? He was emotional. He looked very calm in the footage. You're vindictive. No, I said. I'm consistent. She hung up. Friday morning, my lawyer, Gary Fletcher, called. Savannah, you might want to turn on the local news. I did. There it was. Former groom arrested again in vandalism case. Marcus's mugshot filled the screen. The headline below, Jilted Fiancé faces felony charges after wedding dispute. I laughed once. Sharp. Humorless. By evening, it was everywhere. Facebook groups, news sites, comment sections. Half the comments defended him. She pushed him. He was heartbroken. Women ruin men's lives. The other half? Play stupid games. Consequences. On camera, not smart. Ethan posted a long rant about how the justice system fails men who act emotionally. It got traction. Then it got torn apart. Saturday morning, Daniel asked to meet. We sat at a coffee shop. He looked 10 years older. My son is facing multiple felonies, he said quietly. He committed multiple felonies. What would it take for you to drop the charges? I'm not dropping anything. Money? He leaned forward. We'll pay for the damage, $20,000. He'll get counseling. He'll move away. You'll never see him again. Daniel, I said gently, he committed crimes on camera, twice. My wife wants to sell our house to pay legal fees. That's tragic. You don't care? I care about what he did, not what it cost you. He stared at me like he was finally seeing someone he didn't recognize. You loved him. Yes. And now? I love myself more. He stood up and left. Sunday morning, I got a letter. County jail return address. Savannah. I know I went too far. I was hurt. I was angry. You were my whole world, and when you took that away, I didn't know what to do. I love you. I'll always love you. Please drop the charges. I can't survive in here. Not one sentence about the Mustang. Not one about forging my name. Not one about attempted fraud. Just how he felt. I folded it once. Dropped it in the trash. His court date was set for 2 weeks out, with the vandalism charges added. Gary estimated 18 to 24 months if convicted. People kept asking if I felt bad. I didn't, because this was no longer about a relationship. It was about boundaries and consequences. My Mustang was at the shop. They said 3 weeks to fix everything. Insurance approved it all. Marcus, still in county lockup. Waiting. 6 weeks after Marcus first listed my Mustang for sale, we were in a courtroom that smelled faintly of old paper and disinfectant. The plea deal fell apart fast. Marcus's attorney tried negotiating reduced charges in exchange for restitution and counseling. The prosecutor wasn't interested. Your client committed theft, fraud, and felony vandalism, she said flatly. All documented, all on camera. We're proceeding to trial. So we did. Day 1 was about the attempted sale. The prosecution started with the Facebook post. Full screen projection. 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback. $5,000 cash. Must go today. My name tagged beneath it. They showed the timestamps. They showed the text messages. Marcus's voice echoed through the courtroom as the prosecutor read them aloud. I grabbed the title from your office. I'll sign it. Relax, it's for us. The buyer testified next, the man in the Harley jacket. I drove 2 hours, and he said, took off work, had $5,000 cash. I thought I was buying a classic. Did the defendant appear confused about ownership? The prosecutor asked. No, he said he had the title ready. Officer Mendez testified about the arrest. He admitted removing the title from her filing cabinet. Marcus sat stiffly at the defense table. He avoided looking at me. His attorney argued confusion. Your Honor, this was a misunderstanding between engaged partners. Mr. Rivera believed he had implied permission. The prosecutor displayed the registration. My name only. Displayed the title. My name only. Displayed the text where Marcus admitted forging my signature. This wasn't confusion, the prosecutor said. It was deliberate. The jury watched carefully. No sympathy on their faces. Day 2 was the vandalism. The courtroom lights dimmed slightly. The ring footage filled the screen. 6:47 a.m. Marcus stepped into frame, crowbar in hand. He smashed the first window. Glass exploded outward. He didn't shout, didn't rage. He moved methodically, one window at a time, slashed tires, then slowly carved into the hood. Should have sold it. Gasps from the gallery. The prosecutor paused the video when Marcus looked directly at the camera. Does this appear to be a spontaneous act of emotional distress? Silence. Marcus's attorney attempted an emotional instability argument. My client was under severe emotional pressure. The wedding cancellation triggered a psychological spiral. The prosecutor responded calmly. He was released on bail pending theft charges. He then attempted credit card fraud. Then he vandalized the vehicle. This was escalation, not instability. Marcus cried through most of the footage. Carla sobbed in the front row. Daniel stared straight ahead, unmoving. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. When they returned, I didn't feel nervous. I felt steady. On the count of attempted theft? Guilty. On the count of attempted fraud? Guilty. On felony vandalism? Guilty. Every count. Marcus collapsed slightly in his chair. Carla began crying loudly. The judge ordered silence. Sentencing was 2 days later. Gary asked if I wanted to provide a victim impact statement. I said yes. When the judge asked if I wished to speak, I stood. Your Honor, I began evenly, Marcus didn't just damage property. He destroyed something I spent 4 years restoring. He forged my name. He tried to defraud a buyer. When that failed, he vandalized the car out of spite. Marcus kept his eyes on the table. He has never once apologized for what he did, only for how he feels. Every conversation has centered on his embarrassment, his anger, his humiliation, not the crimes. I inhaled slowly. I'm asking for the maximum sentence. Marcus's attorney made one final appeal. He's 29 years old. He made mistakes. He deserves a second chance. The judge leaned forward. Mr. Rivera, you committed multiple felonies against someone you claimed to love. You stole from her. You attempted to defraud both her and an innocent buyer. When confronted, you escalated to deliberate destruction of property. He shuffled papers. You showed no remorse until facing incarceration. That is not immaturity. That is entitlement. The courtroom was silent. You are sentenced to 18 months in state prison. Carla gasped sharply. $12,000 in restitution, including damages and court costs. 3 years probation following release. Permanent felony record. Marcus broke down. Carla stood up suddenly. This is too harsh. He's not a criminal. The judge's voice sharpened. Ma'am, he committed felonies. That makes him a criminal. One more outburst and you'll be removed. She sat down shaking. Marcus was taken into custody immediately. As deputies placed cuffs on him, he finally looked at me. His eyes were red. There was anger there, but also something else. Realization. I didn't look away. Outside the courthouse, Daniel approached me. I hope you're satisfied, he said quietly. I'm not satisfied, I replied, but I'm not sorry. He loved you. He tried to sell my car, then he destroyed it. Daniel's jaw tightened. He walked away. Ethan tried confronting me near the steps. You wanted this, he snapped. You wanted him in prison. I wanted him accountable. He was emotional. He was methodical. Security stepped between us. He was escorted away, still muttering. The news cycle picked it up again. Former groom sentenced to 18 months. Social media erupted. Half the comments called it justice. The other half accused me of ruining a man's life over property. Over a car. But it was never about the car. It was about trust. And what happens when someone believes love gives them ownership. Marcus was transferred to state prison the following week. Carla stopped calling. Daniel sent one short text. Take care of yourself. I didn't respond. The Mustang was finished at the shop. New windows, fresh paint correction, polished chrome. It looked better than before, like something restored after a storm. I drove it home myself, alone. It's been 6 weeks since Marcus first listed my Mustang for sale. 4 weeks since he smashed it. 2 weeks since he was sentenced. The silence now feels different. He's in state prison. 18 months. Carla and Daniel's marriage is reportedly strained, according to a mutual friend who couldn't resist updating me. Carla blames Daniel for not fighting harder in court. Daniel blames Carla for raising Marcus to believe he was entitled to things that weren't his. Ethan has turned into a full-time online activist. His posts are dramatic. Justice system destroying men for emotional mistakes. Women weaponizing the law. His followers are split. Half agree. Half drag him in the comments. I muted him. I don't need digital noise. The venue refunded half my deposit after reviewing the police reports. The manager told me quietly, "We've never seen anything like this." Me neither, I replied. Work has been steady. My boss called after the trial. Savannah, you handled that with more composure than most people twice your age. I didn't feel composed. You looked it. Sometimes strength isn't how you feel. It's what you refuse to tolerate. The Mustang is back in my garage. Repaired. Detailed. Better than before. Insurance covered everything. Marcus will owe restitution regardless. I ran my hand along the hood the first night it was back. The paint is flawless now. No trace of the carving. But I still remember the sound of glass shattering. Some things don't disappear just because they're fixed. I've gotten messages from strangers. Some supportive. Proud of you for standing your ground. You showed what boundaries look like. Others less kind. You sent a man to prison over a car. You could have handled it privately. You destroyed his life. I don't respond anymore. But if I did, I'd say this. It was never about the car. It was about someone I trusted going through my filing cabinet and deciding my property was his to liquidate. It was about forging my name. It was about trying to charge my credit card after being caught. It was about smashing windows one by one while looking into a camera. It was about a pattern. And patterns don't fix themselves with apologies. Gary closed the case file last week. All appeals unlikely, he said. The evidence was overwhelming. I thanked him. When I hung up, I felt something I hadn't expected. Relief. Not victory. Not satisfaction. Just relief. The storm had passed. I haven't started dating. Not yet. But I'm not closed off. I'm just observant. When someone jokes about what's yours is mine, I notice. When someone treats my time, my work, my space casually, I notice. Respect isn't dramatic. It's quiet. Consistent. Marcus once told me I was too rigid. Too controlled. Maybe. But I sleep well. Last week, I received one final letter from prison. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. The first one told me everything. It was all about how he felt. Nothing about what he did. I shredded it unopened. Closure doesn't always require reading every page. Sometimes I replay that Tuesday in my head. 2:13 p.m. Facebook notification. If I had laughed it off. If I had said, fine, we'll fix it later. If I had handled it privately, like everyone suggested, he would have learned nothing. And I would have learned something dangerous. That my boundaries were negotiable. They're not. Outside the courthouse on sentencing day, Daniel said, I hope you're satisfied. I've thought about that sentence a lot. Am I satisfied? No. I would have preferred a fiancé who respected me, a wedding that happened, a future that didn't involve courtrooms. But we don't get to choose other people's choices, only our response to them. Marcus is in prison because of Marcus's choices, not mine. I protected my property. I protected my name. I protected my peace. And I would do it again, every time. Because love without respect isn't love, it's entitlement. And entitlement, when challenged, turns ugly. I learned that the hard way. But I learned it before it cost me more than a car. The Mustang sits in my garage now. Engine quiet, polished, ready. So am I.